Hey everyone, this is my review of the Yakima Stickup bike rack, which I've put on my 2007 Forester XT Turbo. Let's have a look at the bike rack itself. I chose this bike rack because I wanted to have a hitch-mounted bike rack, and also I wanted something that clamped down on the frames of the bike. This way I feel it holds it nice and secure. I looked at brands by Thule, Yakima, and Sport Rack. As you can see over here, it mounts on a trailer hitch. I'll zoom in on that. And that's the OEM trailer hitch I'm running on there. And this particular model holds two bikes. It's a 1 1/4, I believe, hitch, and it's non-expandable. The Thules were expandable, but you needed a 2-inch receiver to do that. From my research out there seems to be two ways of holding the bikes on these hitch-mounted racks. Some of them clamp the bikes down by the frame and hold the wheels down, and others have the clamp that goes down on the wheels itself. I felt that the frame-mounted ones were a bit more secure, and that's why I went with this particular model. I chose the Yakima rack over the Thule and the Sport rack simply because I like the design of their clamp better, whereas the Thule and the Sport rack have one clamping bar. The Yakima, you can see here, has two separate bars. The advantage being is you can adjust this one separately of this one, versus on the Sport rack and the Thule, you just simply have one bar and you have both pieces mounted on there. So if you want to move this one down, well, it can only go down as far as whatever that does. This rack has some pretty cool features. It's pretty easy to use. It's got the ratcheting clips over here, and that secures the bikes nice and fast. And then it's got the cups to mount the wheels. The wheel just slides in there. I'll show you how easily this one adjusts. You just press the button over here, you actually push it upwards, and I'm just doing this with one hand. You can see it comes out just like that. That's not a problem at all to operate. The install is the exact opposite. You just slide it in, push it down, give it a good tug, and that's it, it's secured. Also, you can adjust the slider over here. You undo it, and you can slide it back and forth depending on the size of the bikes. I found that was a great feature. You don't have to worry about what kind of bike you had, it's going to fit. One of my concerns when I was looking for a rack was I wanted to make sure that using a hitch-mounted rack, the bikes would be far enough from the rear of the car and wouldn't touch it and smash it with the pedals. As you can see here, it's not even close. There's not an issue it's going to touch at all, so that's pretty good. Now, install and removal of the bikes is pretty easy. Actually, I'm really impressed by this. First thing you need to do is to undo the clip over here. I only have one hand, so I've already taken the liberty of taking that one off. Next thing you do is you release the clip over here, slide up the arm, and in 2 easy seconds, your bike is off. Installation is the exact same opposite. You put the bike on, clamp it down, and then strap down the wheel. It takes about 20 seconds to do it. And this goes to show how easily the rack folds up. It's pretty easy, and I'm pretty impressed with it. All you need to do is pull the release pin in the middle that holds the center arm. I'm doing this again with one hand, so bear with me. So one-handed operation, fold it down. This needs to be pulled over here, and that's it, it's all folded down. Then if you want to put the rack up against the back end of your car, again, you just pull on this pin at the front of the hatch. One-handed operation again, so you can see it's a lot easier with two hands. You just lift up, locks in place, and there you go. You can see it's a pretty close profile. It stays nice and close to the vehicle, but doesn't actually touch it. I'm not too worried about it. Setting it up to put the bikes on is the exact opposite. Step up to it, release the pin, pull the rack down. You can hear the click. Slide this piece of the center arm out. You're going to have to pull the pin in the middle. And there you go, ready to load. So this is a quick demonstration on real life how fast it is to load a bike based on someone who's actually used the rack only a handful of times. I'll stick the bike on the back and see how it goes. there you have it. Doesn't take any time at all to put the bikes on, bikes off. Anybody can do it. I figured it out in a few seconds. I'll tell you my pet peeve about this particular rack. I bought this Yakima rack because the advertising said that the rack could fold up or down, and I like that because I could get stuff out of the trunk. Now, when I actually tried to fold it down, I found it was pretty limited, and I'll show you right now. It's kind of actually useless. You can't really get in the trunk. The fold down is only a few degrees. So there you have it. The rack's folded back, and as you can see, there's not exactly enough room to open the hatch. Watch. I don't think it's vehicle specific. I think pretty much any vehicle like this, you're going to have a hard time doing it. Right off the bat, it's hitting the pedals, and even if it didn't, you can see. You try and swing you try and swing the hatch up, and it's going to hit no matter what. So yeah, it folds down, but that's kind of a useless feature. So this is my conclusion of the Yakima rack, and my opinions of it, and what I think of it. I've used it a couple of times. I find it really easy to use. I find it holds the bike securely, and I think it's a really solidly built product. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would, even though my pet peeve was that the fold-down capability isn't anything like advertised. What I do like is the fact that the center stand that holds the bikes by the frames really holds the bikes securely, and you can adjust them individually, so I think that's worth the trade-off. So you know what? It's a great product. Yakima makes a great product. I don't see any reason not to recommend this product to anyone. I'm sure it'll last me a lifetime.